Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days. And, Sesame Street has been a show that has evolved with the times over the span of the last 40 plus years. The show has been a staple, and it's been one that's been used to educate kids on social issues and issues of cause and keep them informed in ways that I think works well for them, especially given like the young age and what they can in fact comprehend. Because keep in mind, not everyone who watches Sesame Street is like the standard blue checkmark Twitter user's 4-year-old that just magically does something that clearly never actually happened. But this is a new one here and this is kind of one where I see what they're going for, but I also am kind of scratching my head here because Sesame Street has now just unveiled the first homeless Muppet. In a show that's all about people helping each other, creating a homeless Muppet just seems a little off kilter to me. Not against it. I get the concept. I get what they're trying to do. Teach compassion and love and sympathy and empathy for people who are less fortunate. And that is, in essence, what a lot of Sesame Street does. I mean, they do have the HIV positive puppet that was meant to bring awareness to that. But at the same time, HBO now owns Sesame Street, which means it's exclusively broadcast on there. So if you have HBO, you probably don't have HIV. I'm totally kidding. Some people probably do, but you probably aren't homeless. This is a paid subscription service. Not everyone, I don't think a homeless person is going to get access to their friend's HBO Go account. That's all I'm saying. But I'm making jokes, but I get the point. The point is compassion. Now it says here, Lily, a pink Muppet with a multicolored braids, reveals that she and her parents have lost their home. Sesame Street, the groundbreaking kids show, launched its 50th season next year. Sorry, I was off by a few years. I hit another milestone on Wednesday when it introduced the first homeless character. Lily, a pink Muppet with multicolored braids whose favorite color is purple, debuted in 2011 to introduce the topic of food insecurity. At the time, she talked about her family not having enough to eat. In a new segment that debuted on the Sesame Workshop YouTube channel, Lily becomes sad while painting a rainbow with Elmo and Sophia, a human character who works at a local community center. In explaining her feelings, Lily, who is 7, reveals that she and her parents have lost their home, saying, "We don't have our own apartment anymore, and we've been staying in all different kinds of places." The segment's part of Sesame's Workshop, Sesame Street and Communities Initiative. Whew, that's a mouthful. Available on the organization's YouTube page. The segments do not air on television version of the show. Rather, they are meant as resources for families and caregivers in tackling particularly difficult issues. John Legend, an advocate for prison reform via his Free America organization, recently participated in a segment timed to a holiday season with children whose parents are incarcerated. The Lily story will also include interaction, activations, and storybooks, all bilingual and free to parents, caregivers, and teachers. Homelessness is a growing problem in America, with more than 2.5 million children experiencing homelessness and more than 1.2 under the age of 6, 1.2 million under the age of 6. There have been a 100% increase of children in Head Start and Early Start programs over the last decade. Saying, "We know children experiencing homelessness are often caught up in the devastating cycle of trauma, the lack of affordable housing, domestic violence, and other trauma that cause them to lose their home, the trauma of actually losing their home, and the daily trauma of uncertainty and insecurity in being homeless. We want to help disrupt that cycle by confronting children, empowering them, and giving them hope for the future. We want them to know that they are not alone and that home is more than a house or an apartment. Home is wherever the love lives." This is coming from Sherry Wilson, the president of Global Impact Philanthropy at Sesame Workshop. Now, first off, let me just say, I am totally an asshole for the jokes that I made at the beginning of this. I was just making some humor. But no, this is a serious issue. There are a lot of homeless people in the country. If there are 2.5 million homeless children, that's a lot. That's true. That's a lot. Like, I'm fortunate to have a home. I'm fortunate that my daughter has a bed to sleep in, but there are people out there that I've known that don't have that. In fact, recently, Olympia, the city I live in, just decided that it was going to build an encampment for the homeless population, which is growing quite rapidly. And the idea there is that it's treated almost like a campground, where they took a space, they created spots. Those spots are reserved. It has bathrooms and a wash station. And the idea there is to help kind of end the stigma surrounding homelessness problem and help get people back on their feet and give them a place to go that's not going to be like, underneath an overpass or in a dangerous location. And the truth of the matter is, I'm okay with that. I support it, actually. I think it's a good initiative. There are people out there that need help, that they get caught in these situations. I mean, let's be fair here. The biggest problem facing the homeless population in this country is mental illness. It's something that we talk about, but we never really dive into. We never really set up the resources to help people in need. And the problem with it is that, you know, we still overlook it, even though we shouldn't. So if Lily here is going to teach kids compassion towards those who are homeless that they might encounter, and maybe do a bit to destigmatize it, that's actually a good thing. And there are people out there that are going to argue, you know, there's nothing to destigmatize about about being homeless. You're homeless. It's just, that's the way it is. It's, you know, but we have a tendency of looking at those people, looking down at those people. I've done it too. You know, like someone out there like panhandling and you judge them, right? I don't want to judge them, but like, I think we all kind of do it intrinsically. You know, then I feel really guilty about it after the fact. I'm like, ah, man, he's tried this down on his luck. I know what it's like to be down on my luck, you know, and to get help from friends. So I circle back around. I toss him a couple bucks if I can, you know, and that's like my way of helping out because I don't know what else to do. And truth be told, I don't think a lot of people know what else to do. So something like this could be good because it does teach tactical empathy at a young age. And I think that's the key thing here. It's tactical empathy at a young age. There's a spiritual counselor, a motivational speaker, if you will, named Dr. Wayne Dyer, who passed away a couple years ago. And I really actually liked this guy's message because he said that if we taught children at the age of 5 to meditate for 5 minutes a day, it would help them tremendously. He had a great point at the end that I totally forgot about, but the idea of meditation, clearing one's mind, trying to get rid of the fog of the cobwebs, and knowing how to calm oneself, I think would do a lot for kids. So something like this to bring awareness to something in a way that only Sesame Street can have. And they're doing it on the YouTube channel, not doing it on the HBO show. So it actually does go out to kids who might not have HBO, as with my dickish aforementioned joke. But also, you know, they could find it and they could pay attention to it. So you know, here's the thing. I kind of intended to mock this a little bit. By the end of it, I realized that was the wrong take. And I really want to see more things like this get attention. You know, we've got over 16, I think over 11 million homeless in the country and like over 16 million abandoned homes. So, you know, finding a way to like bring those two together, I think would very much help. And something like this, it can work to destigmatize. And there's really nothing wrong with that. In fact, I give him credit. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Does this actually help anything? Does this just hinder things? Does it even matter to you? Let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts. I kind of want to know where you guys stand on this one. Anyway, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been Stranger Days. I'll talk to you all later. If you'd like, toss a like. If not, that's cool. Comment if you want. Not, that's cool. And have a good one, guys. And peace out.